I have difficulty keeping my sanity. Each day, this altering world provides me with new trials. A man wearing the robes of a doctor has crossed my path. From afar, I witnessed him walking around, searching. But he was not normal. Eyes and mouth pried open, in a painful, disturbing way. Where do these fiends stem from? I do not trust him. He looks like he wants to bring pain, not healing. I will stay away. It is the wisest thing to do.
From an early age, Herman Carter understood the human psyche. To analyze and deconstruct something as powerful as the brain intrigued him. He was an apt pupil and gained the attention of his teachers. He excelled in high school and was published in Partisan, a psychology gazette. Within a year, Carter was fast-tracked into Yale's Advanced Neuroscience program, which was really a front for the CIA. Brainpower is a must if you are able to conquer the world and demolish foes across the country. The CIA understood this, so interrogation intelligence became their #1 priority. All they needed was brilliant people like Carter. Carter and other top-tier recruits were transferred off campus and into a secret black site facility in Illinois known as the Leroy Memorial Institute. A protege craves a mentor, and that's where Mr. Stamper stepped in, who taught Carter that information is everything and knowledge is power. He was given all instruments needed, a guiding hand and more or less everything he asked for. He never realised that sunlight had started to become so scarce that he was too kept in the dark, because knowledge doesn't only give you power, it also transforms you into a threat. To extract information was his mission. Mr. Stamper encouraged Carter to go further and not to consider this a normal medical facility. No eyes were watching them and there were no rules to abide by. The agency just pointed Carter in the right direction, then he started to take a few steps back as he saw how Carter could walk on his own. Docile test subjects were exchanged for real life spies, people that played a role in the troubles outside the facility. Carter shouldered this new role. Project Awakening took form, and on paper Carter described it as an experimental interrogation. It was approved, and over a few months nobody knocked on his door. Screams and moans filled the corridor outside his lab, but wars skew people and what they accept, as long as the enemy is kept at bay. The fluorescent lights flickered more and more often. ECT became a standard dish on the menu. Prisoners held at the facility begged the guards to take them to any other lab but Carter's. Rumours were completely disregarded in the beginning. Over the years, Carter became known as the Doctor, and no one ever questioned if he had even held a medical certificate, or even what happened to the prisoners after they were given up their information. It was only after the Leroy Memorial Institute went silent for a week that they finally uncovered the true horror of what happened there. Carter's experimental information extraction had turned to horrific and bizarre torture. Patients and prisoners were found dead or in a vegetative state with all types of head trauma. In his office, they found the most terrible discovery of all. Mr. Stamper himself, his head peeled open and an array of electrodes and sensors inserted into his still working but annihilated brain. There was no sign of Herman the Dr. Carter, but his research papers suggested that he had been using the prisoners as part of awful ECT experiments as he searched for the panacea of mind control. The government didn't want to know, the black site was condemned and all knowledge of the Leroy Memorial Institute redacted forever. The entity has ignited a corrupted and inexhaustible spark in the Doctor's heart which allows him to generate electroconvulsive power at will. His insidious treatment corrupts the minds of those it touches. Victims shocked by the corrupt spark begin to lose their grip on reality and with repeated exposure inevitably succumb to madness. As the Doctor, you can switch between treatment and punishment modes. While in treatment mode, you move slower and generate a static field based on your terror radius, which slowly increases the survivor's madness based on their proximity to the Doctor. You can also charge and release a shock therapy attack that greatly increases the survivor's madness. Treatment mode allows him to do normal interactions such as vaulting windows, damaging generators, breaking pallets and grabbing survivors. Survivors with prolonged exposure to the static field or when being hit repeatedly with the shock therapy attack will enter Madness 1, 2, 3 and scream, revealing their position to the Doctor. Madness 2 and 3 cause survivors to experience Doctor hallucinations, which can be seen by the Doctor as an allied aura if the survivor is in Madness 3. In Madness 3, survivors will regularly scream, revealing their position to the Doctor, and survivors cannot do most interactions until they snap out of it. Some notable exceptions exist, including dropping pallets and escaping using the hatch. While in punishment mode, the Doctor moves at his normal speed and can swing his weapon to injure survivors. But that's the end of this Dead by Daylight lore video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure you drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the other uploads on Dead by Daylight. I will see you all in the next one.